because he's just insane. Like I mean, he shot himself in the goddamn mouth, bro. You know? David Blaine, how good is he really? I've done a video in this format on Chris Angel. People really enjoyed it, so I'm going to do one on David Blaine. The difference with David Blaine is that I actually really like him. And a lot of people, a lot of magicians, a lot of people in the game, when they hear that, like, he's probably up there as one of my favorite performers of all time in terms of magic, in the magical sense, they go, you know, that's basic. You know, like, there's so many better guys. Why would you go for, you know, the big one that everyone knows? Blah 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 blah. Now, just out of pure coincidence, I'm actually using the Stoics, which is a David Blaine deck. So just thought that was interesting. But that's not what we're talking about. Why do I think David Blaine is so good? And why do I think, to be honest, if you ask me, right, if you're someone that doesn't like magic and you go, listen, bro, I'll come over, we'll have some popcorn, we'll have some whatever, and we're gonna watch it. We're gonna watch a magic show, right? You pick the show, we'll watch it, right? So what would I pick? It would be between David Blaine's last special, Real or Magic, or maybe one of the Darren Brown specials. Okay, it would be between those two. Why do I think that, right? Here's the thing. If we're looking at skill set, right? How good is someone? How good is a magician? How good is David Blaine? The thing we have to look at is, okay, there's many categories, right? Like, how good is his skill set, okay? Let's look at just cards, right? Because that's my specialty. So, in terms of cards, David Blaine is pretty good. It's actually quite good. He can do some stuff that I can't do. Like, he has this little flourish he does where, see, I can't really do it, but he'll like do this move, right? But with both hands at the same time and catch them and do it back and forth, which I can't do, right? I just haven't practiced it. He'll have like different kind of slides. He can do folds and all sorts of stuff, right? So his sleight of hand stuff, primo. It's good. It's really good. It's simple. He never does something crazy like Shin Lim or whatever. But it works. It works. Is that all that a magician is, right? Is that all? In that case, you know, anyone, you know, Dave Buck is the best magician of all time because he can do best sleight of hand. So sleight of hand only takes you so far, right? Then you have to look at performance. Then you have to look at all the other like intangibles that you know, like that go into magic, right? So with David, for me, I think what his best asset is that he is dedicated to creating a moment, okay? I don't think for him it's necessarily magic. I think it's just a moment in time that people will remember as something extraordinary, okay? That's why you've seen him do, you know, Buried Alive, encased in like ice for 3 days, standing on top of a pillar, no eating for 7 days or whatever, no eating, no drinking, like all these crazy stunts, holding his breath, world record for holding breath in water on live TV, almost died several times, like all these different things. He regurgitates frogs. For a trick, he'll like put like a needle through his arm, sew his mouth shut, like all these things. He's so dedicated to creating the moment that it doesn't really matter what it is. He's going to figure out a way to make that moment memorable, and it's unlike anything else you've ever seen, okay? And I think that's what makes him so good. On top of that, he's so, his persona matches that, so because it's such a juxtaposition. He does this insane thing, which is crazy, which is gruesome or whatever, but is completely blank, and he's going, look, watch, look, watch. Meanwhile, his arm's just getting destroyed by this massive ice pick. So the juxtaposition, I think, is what is another thing that makes it so impressive. So then when he comes out and he goes, pick a card, right? You know he's done crazy shit. You know he's like insane. He's mental. So even the fact that he's asking you to pick a card, you're going, oh shit, okay, what's this gonna be? What's this actually gonna be? Like, I'm excited to see what David's gonna show me. Even if it's not to do, even if you don't necessarily enjoy magic, you know this is gonna be some crazy next level shit. And I think one of my favorite examples of this is on his Real or Magic show. He has Ricky Gervais in one of the scenes, and he does a magic trick for him, and Ricky's not really reacting. You know, he's a skeptic, and I mean, you know, it's fair enough. You know, like there's a trick to it, so it must be he's not going to react to it really. But once he figures out that, you know, Ricky's not going to give him what he wants, and he hasn't created the most memorable thing possible, he takes out an ice pick, sticks it through his arm, and Ricky goes nuts. Ricky goes absolutely insane. He's giving you the best reaction you've ever seen, and it's definitely the most memorable thing. Ricky's going to talk about that for ages. So even though, you know, the ice thing, I'm pretty certain it's not a trick. You know, I'm pretty sure he just sticks a needle through his arm repeatedly. But the point that the fact that he's willing to go to that level just shows that, you know, he's so dedicated to it that it's so difficult to find other people that are going to kind of perform in a similar way, right? Same thing with like the mouth sewing thing he did on Jimmy Kimmel. He's done it on his show. Like, you know, a card coming out of someone's mouth has been done before. It's a good trick. But if you sew your mouth shut, all of a sudden it raises that level of like, oh, and then when the card comes out, everyone's emotional level is so high already that they're going to react in an insane way because you've already primed them with that like insanity beforehand, you know. And I think he doesn't just do it for the shock value specifically. I think like a lot of the times what he does is very calculated, and it's not just like being gruesome for the sake of being gruesome, you know. It's genuinely like something that's gonna shock you, but in a very, very like tasteful way. It's really strange. And as I said, like his persona works with it. It's just like, not to mention that his show, the last show he did, basically his whole premise was using all these already famous people, right? So Will Smith, Harrison Ford, you know, Ricky Gervais, like all these people. And so for someone that doesn't like magic, this is not even a magic show at this point. It's a reality TV thing where this guy's going around and he's interacting with people you already know, and it's fun things to watch about people you already are interested in, right? So that's what I think makes David such a genius, is he's able to captivate the masses. He's able to figure out what's actually interesting about something, about a situation, and also just create the most memorable moment you can create from that moment, whether it's magic, whether it's endurance related stunts, whether it's a mixture of everything, you know. And I think that's what he's so good at. Like, in my opinion, Darren Brown, I'm going to make a video on him too at some point, but that's what he does so well too. He combines all of these other talents with the magic, so it becomes like the show becomes more about all the other things he can do and all the other, like, it's almost like you can't believe he's that talented in so many different areas. And David kind of does a similar thing himself with these shows. But when it comes down to how good is David Blaine really, in my opinion, if you look at the art form, of performance and capturing attention and magical skill and all that kind of stuff, I think he just combines everything so well. Of course, at the beginning of his career, if you look at his old specials, the Street Magic one was good, but there was some stuff where, you know, like he took a girl's tooth out and spat it back in. That's clearly stooges and actors and stuff like that. You know, he did one where he was like levitating, and again, that was clever editing, and he did it for real. He did like a Balducci, is that what it's called? But, you know, there was some, like, kind of fishy stuff going on there. But at the end of the day, the stuff that he's doing nowadays, the stuff that he's been putting out, the stuff that he goes on, you know, on these shows with and stuff like that, is so entertaining, so amazing. Like, you know when he comes out with something, it's going to be amazing. And because he's just insane. Like, he shot himself in the goddamn mouth, bro. You know? And I mean, I'm not aspiring to be like him. I don't think anyone should be try to do what he does, because he's, you know, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if something happened in his developmental stages where, you know, something clicked in his mind and he just went a little bit off the deep end, and that's what makes him such a good, you know, entertaining figure. So I don't think it's something to necessarily aspire to, but goddamn is he entertaining. I mean, oh my god, you know. Yeah, David Blaine, one of my favorite performers of all time. You know, if someone asks me who to watch in Magic, I'm gonna probably give them a David Blaine video. You know, that Drake one with the frog. That was hilarious. You know, there's so many iconic clips of David, and he's such a memeable guy. He's so, I mean, it's just a perfect package, I think. Like, I think, you know, in terms of like the modern type of stuff where it's not stage work, and I don't know how good his stage shows are. I know he did some tours, you know, but you know, you probably can't beat David Copperfield in terms of pure stage and production value and insanity and pure budget and stuff like that. But I think for the modern era of like what's going on, I think David Blaine is one of the guys that, I mean, he draws the most eyelids. You know, it's nuts. I love the guy, but he's crazy at the same time. So let me know in the comments what you think about this. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Why? And who else do you want me to review as in this series of videos? How good is performer really? So let me know down in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, share this with your friends, and as always, see you next time. Peace!